Thank y'all.
It's gonna be a fun one.
Haven't done this in a long time.
It's delicious. It's so good.
See, he's a pro. He doesn't need a chaser.
Oh.
I mean, he's got water, but oh my God, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the episode I've been waiting for since season 1.
A very special guest.
Very special guest. For me personally, he's done a lot for my family, a lot for my career. But like I said, we tried to have him on season 1. You know, complications happened. He was busy. We were busy. And now it's time for you guys to have him on. We have the legendary, the man himself, Mr. Shaun Evaristo. A legend, straight legend. Thank you for coming through, bro. Like I said, this is crazy. You're here. We've always talked, but you've done a lot of things for my family that I can never say so much thank you to you. But thank you for coming through, brother.
Man, I'm honored to be here. Just to sit and chill.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate you guys for asking me.
For sure. So we got to get started. For people that don't know you, you are, and if you are a dancer, you have to know this man. You are the founder, the creator of the legendary studio Movement Lifestyle. And for some, too, that may not know, you are also the founder of the company.
Co-founder
Yes. Of the company back in NorCal, which was always my dream team when I was younger. That team is crazy. And he actually experienced the company first time at Vibe.
Yeah.
Man.
So
just for me to see it, anytime I see the company perform, I mean, for me, just makes me happy.
For sure. So we got to start back in the day. How did dance come about? Where'd you grow up?
Okay. Where did I grow up? I grew up in Daly City.
Yes, sir.
And how did dance come about? I'm sure many people have had maybe a similar situation. Yeah. I'm sure I've talked to Johnny about this, Jay Blaze. But, MJ, music videos.
Of course.
Just would come home and, I would have my backpack on, run from school, just
go straight to the music videos.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Just throw the backpack down.
Yeah.
Pick it, just see what's on. Because, especially when at the time this was a major thing for me to see with my own eyes. Visual, music, sound, all of it. Just, That's that was all I wanted to absorb. It was, as I like to say, it was my school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you see was there a moment where you saw a music video for the first time and you were like, I want to watch this? This is the only thing I want to watch.
What was the go-to? What was the go-to one?
Eras and time frames, right?
Okay.
So, you go back to MJ in particular, talking about Smooth Criminal,
I'm so happy
Thriller,
about that.
all of that, but then you keep pushing along, and then you're like, okay. Then we got everything from, this is a prime time of music videos.
Yeah, huge. MTV.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything.
So everything from, Wu-Tang Clan to Fugees down to, all the way to the, Boys to Men. We can take it to different areas. I mean, just again, visually, these things were so stunning to me that I just wanted to be a part of it. I just wanted to, it felt like me.
It felt natural to you.
I felt connected to it.
Yeah, for sure. Were your parents dancers? Were they ever creative? Were you the odd bunch out of the family?
My dad said that he used to dance back in the Philippines. They had this barrio fiesta, and he told me that they danced a lot.
They got down.
And I just imagined those things happening. It's really cute. It's really cute in my head. Oh, my dad, but in terms of taking it seriously or anything like that, no. It was obviously this is a whole nother path versus just dancing for fun. At barrio fiestas.
At parties and shit.
Yeah.
When so did you start taking professional, when did you start taking it professionally, or like when did you start taking classes and stuff, when you thought like, okay, I'm gonna take this serious, more than just like a hobby or like a fun thing?
So before classes, I have to kind of run it back a little bit.
Okay, let's run it back.
So this is why the garage is really important to me. This is where I grew up training, and without any real proper training, it's like having the TV there or music video, just watching and then practicing in the garage. This is like, as soon as I came in here, I felt at home because this is literally like everything about this, even this right here.
Yeah, the small, minute details.
Yeah, this feels so comfortable to me because that's where I like really not just learned, but I honed in on like what was what, and if I didn't know how to do something, I would try to figure out so many failures. Just trying to figure out movement, you know. But then, I'd say, you know, within the garage, you know, I had a family dance crew called Gen 2. This is before the company.
Oh, wow.
And it was just my cousins. I asked a lot of my cousins.
Sick.
I was 10 years old. I asked them, hey, can we hang out?
Like, let's make a group.
Yeah, like, of course, the only reason I would want to be together, at least, is the dance was the excuse to just be together. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then my mom would cook, my mom and dad would cook, and we would just hang out. Damn. And that was like the base. And then we would eventually grow out of just family to bring friends in, close friends, and that created the relationships for me to connect with, you know, someone like Pat Cruz, who we created the company together.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, this base of goodness inside of the garage was really like where I learned. But in terms of classes, my first hip hop teacher was probably when I was like 18 or 19.
Really?
It was Alan Frias from Mind Over Matter. Yeah, I would take the BART, which is our local train at SF, nice. And just get off at 24th and Mission and take his class. This is where I learned how to groove. So just learned these like big movements.
Yeah.
I mean, still, I would still reference him in terms of like how to teach.
Yeah. Definitely.
To me, these things is where I learn important things about myself.
Yeah.
Just a kid. It's just like young and trying to figure things out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So in where you grew up, what do you think the reasoning for you to create? I know you created the Gen 2 with your cousins, but what made you feel like you had to create something bigger than that for the city, and why? What was the reasoning behind the company for you and Pat Cruz?
So there was actually Pat's family. They own a school called WSPA, which is Westlake School of Performing Arts.
Oh, sick!
And this is where the company is built from. Prior to the company, there was a hip hop program, and one of the teachers had left. So the director of that department left.
Yeah.
So there was an open spot.
Oh,
and this is Pat's family, right?
Yeah.
And Pat essentially didn't know if he was like ready to step into that role, but together we could do it.
Wow!
And that vacancy left. Well, there's like a whole new like spot for us to kind of fill.
Yeah.
Let's start from scratch and create something new.
That's dope. And so it was like a school program. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Damn.
And I wish I had that.
Pat's family school program.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So right now he is now the owner of WSPA. He's taken over, and that.
Wait, Pat's the owner of that now? Wow, that's huge. That's sick.
It's his family, right?
Yeah, of course, family business.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and then someone else obviously now is directing the company.
Okay, yeah.
And of course, everybody's still involved.
Yeah, for sure.
For me, I'll still go to the new show, which is called Good Times.
Good Times.
It was this year. I'll be performing there soon, so I get to see the company perform. I get to interact and connect with my people back home.
Hell yeah!
It's special. Yeah.
When the company first started, did you ever think it would be on a scale what it is now, where it's like you guys are known like internationally? Like, well known, like in the community, like where it is now? Like, did you like? No,
definitely not. You just do what you love, and then eventually, like, it just like passed down. Like once I had moved to Los Angeles, they kept it going, and generation after generation, like now I think we're pulling up on 20 years.
20-year anniversary coming up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's insane.
Like I don't. Where did the time go?
Yeah, honestly, and especially we talked about this with Trevor, especially with the blip that happened with COVID. Like those 3 years are just like crazy.
Like really though, and without even going too far into that, just like that really felt like like the Avengers of Marvel movies.
Literally.
That's literally what we talked about.
Insane. So the company got brought up. How old were you when that happened with you and Pat?
Oh my God, I like don't have the dates exactly. But yeah, I believe it was 2005.
2005. Wow. So that started. When was it when you moved to LA?
2006.
2006. So the year after. So how was that transition for you to Daly City to Los Angeles, where it's like the hub of dancers, like insane, like?
Yeah, I think I was going back and forth already.
Okay. So you're kind of used to that.
Not really.
Quite.
Yeah, I had taken a few trips back and forth just to like see what was going on. But yeah, it's like how do you quantify that sort of transition? I guess the easiest way for me to put it is that, you know, LA was a mecca of dance, especially in this time. Obviously now with social media, you can dance anywhere in the world. Obviously, definitely. LA still has its importance.
Its core thing.
Yeah, with entertainment being, this being the entertainment capital. But yeah, at that time, there wasn't any other place to do this. This is where I wanted to, I would see dancers in a music video. I would say, okay, where's that happening? I guess that's Los Angeles. I guess that's where I should go. You know, there wasn't a school for me to find the way to make the, you know, there's no curriculum that says this is the way to do it.
No set path.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go figure it out.
Yeah, honestly.
You just get here. I don't know if you've had Ben Chung on here, but
not yet.
Right. But he was my first roommate.
Really? That's crazy.
So before he joined Jabba, before he turned into Kinjas and all of that, me and him were roommates.
Wow. Yeah. That's insane. How did you guys meet? Like how did that come about?
Probably through like all the dance competitions.
Yeah. You know? Okay.
We were probably like competing against each other. Like, you're cool.
Let's be roommates.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to figure it out. So we moved out to Venice actually.
Okay. Nice.
And that was a first year ride. That's like what I consider my rookie year.
Your rookie year. So then with your rookie year, how did you become to me a legend? Like how did we got to talk, of course, movement lifestyle, because to me, I think you already know my opinion with movement lifestyle, but I think movement lifestyle is just the biggest thing that has come out for the dance community, the dance industry in LA, worldwide in general. So how did that idea come about? I'm sure you told us many times, but I need to hear it again from the legend. Like, how did movement lifestyle even become an idea?
So 2006 I moved. Maybe 2007, 2008 I started working in the industry a little bit. Okay. Doing a lot of K-pop stuff. About 2008.
As a choreographer or as a dancer?
As a choreographer. So
okay.
I'll track back to that later.
Yeah.
We'll track back to 2008 later. But in terms of ML, I had established that in 2009.
Okay. Yeah.
So from my move, a little bit of that gap happened, a lot of experiences, and then just realizing that I wanted more community in the industry. I felt that not just me, but others were looking for a home, some type of connectivity beyond us doing the work. and I wanted to help fill gaps. I was like, man, we're like all here, all fighting for something we believe in, wanting to pursue something we love.
Yeah.
Why do I feel so alone? And I just wanted to do something about it. And it was not, I have to be the one to do something.
Yeah.
I want to do something about that. Maybe provide some space that could help the connectivity.
Yeah.
And if I have to start that or,
help build it.
Yeah, be the catalyst. Cool. Sure. I don't care as long as it exists.
Yeah.
And that was really the initial part of it. There was no studio. There was just a concept.
Just, the idea of it.
And
it seemed like the idea of bringing the concept of like the company, what you had going on there, to LA. It's like just the idea of a community.
Right.
Where you guys had.
It's really this connectivity of it all from the garage to the industry.
The industry with the top dogs, the top people trying to do what they want to do.
Well, I felt this garage, right? Like the garage that I lived in was such a safe space and a home, and I cultivated a lot of family and friends to be in that space.
For sure.
And when I left San Francisco, I didn't have that. So how could I create that?
Yeah.
And that's really what it came down to. And I think there was a lot of us back then. Oh, I'm saying back then,
back then.
But it's true. I didn't feel that there was community inside of industry.
Yeah, for sure.
That bridge was a little bit harder back then.
No, definitely.
You know, and even if it was there, there wasn't enough.
Yeah.
I just wanted more.
Yeah.
And this is where ML started to kind of make its move. Whoa.
Gotta get, we be talking on this.
Right. I think in terms of making that move, it was really like, what is this move? I don't know.
Yeah.
I wanted to start a business to help this connectivity. And my first attempts were really like interesting. I was like, let's do management. Let's do our own workshops. Let's we started to just anything we could like put our hands on or try, we would do it.
So so it didn't even start with a studio idea first.
No,
like, it
not
was
at all. I was far from doing a studio.
Really?
I didn't care to do a studio. I didn't even know, that wasn't even my
thing.
head.
Like,
Yeah, movement lifestyle is, and will always be beyond a space. It is a concept, an idea that movement is life. That's it.
I like
and then from there we can build, right?
Beyond that.
From those, it is a calling to any of you. It doesn't matter what kind of movement that you do, right? And I will always, till now, say this same thing because the mission remains the same. It's what moves you that should make you feel alive, and that we should head towards those things. And that's the mission of ML. I am ML like you are ML. You are producing. You are behind the lens. You are speaking in front. But this is what makes you feel passionate. That's what moves you. Dance moves me. You know what I mean? So what moves you? That's the whole thing. And the space was just a place where we can activate those things. And that's where I drove the community to come together. We started out with my apartment. And from my apartment, we would I would cook, or people would cook, and we would all eat together.
Yeah.
Eventually, those social gatherings, we were like, there was a space downstairs.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Let's have a session.
Well, let's, I guess I'll move there.
Yeah.
And then there was an open space where there was big enough to fit a small mirror. Okay, we're on the street level, meaning we can bring dancers in. We could session. We could use this. It was about this size, exactly this size.
I remember that space.
I was like,
that
perfect.
Yep.
It's enough to create small community.
Yep.
And then next door opened. It was a bigger space. I was like, this is small enough to do a dance studio. But I just wanted a big enough space to create for our community.
For sure.
It wasn't like, I'm going to make a dance studio.
That was make a business.
That was far from my mind.
Yeah.
I just wanted people to get together. I wanted to be able to create and elevate each other. And I think we did that, right? From that point, then a studio space, a larger space, a warehouse opened up down the street. and it was just looking. It was like, oh, nah, this can't happen. This is nah. What are you talking about? What is? I'm just
this will never be
this scruffy misfit kid. You know, like, what do I do? I don't know how to run a business. You know, but here we are. We have this bubbling community, and over the years we cultivated. There was nothing in that corner. There was no one there. It was just us trying to figure things out.
Yep.
But slowly we would start to build community, and within consecutive years later we would have that location. And that location was it was like a Hail Mary pass. I had no clue what I was
Aaron
doing.
Rodgers real quick. Aaron Rodgers. Know that.
At that stage when you were getting that started, what was your biggest challenge?
What the hell am I doing?
The self-doubt.
Maybe biggest challenge for you personally, and then maybe it is you have to look at it as a business too. For that standpoint, like what was the challenge as a business?
I think as a business, it was learning what it is that we did and how we function.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't have the experience, the knowledge, the know-how.
Mm-hmm.
I was, to be honest, I was reading books and learning things, but there wasn't enough time to like really. It was
you were thrown in the you were thrown in the trenches real quick. Literally.
You just figure it out as you go, and I don't think I wasn't throwing myself in here saying that I'm gonna be a business owner.
Yeah.
I came in to just help do what I love and let this be like the center point,
a connector.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Because I know that this could feed me in other kind of ways.
Yeah.
If you eat, we eat together.
Exactly. The fam eats.
Yeah,
the fam eats. Yeah,
exactly. That.
I like that. I like me and Lucian. Our crew with like our media team. Like we say that too. Like whatever he books or whatever I book, like the fam eats like together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With movement lifestyle and everything, with coming up with just the idea first. Who was the first person you told about this idea, or like what you thought was
my brother,
CJ?
Yeah, so CJ. Yeah.
Shout out to CJ.
Yes. So my brother, he's in my culture. I'm Filipino, so he's my kuya, and I would just be like, "Hey, I don't know what I'm doing, so I think you might be able to help me with this thing." He has a background in accounting.
I was gonna say, what was his like? Because he's not a dancer for people that don't know.
No, he was always the kuya that helped take care of all of our cousins or all the family. So if we were at a performance, he was just there, like.
Yeah, he was security. He was everything.
Exactly. He was taking care of everybody, even if he didn't want to.
Yeah.
So naturally, I went to him, and it was just like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to help something, and I think I'm going to create a business, and maybe you can help if you have time. And this was around the time that the 2008 crash happened. So I was like, just come here, because he had lost his job out there in SF, and he was like, let me try something new.
Yeah.
And this is kind of where it started. And essentially, he didn't know what he was doing either. I think there's a pattern here.
Yeah. I think even for us too, like me having this idea of having a podcast, I didn't know what was the first step to create a podcast, but I just knew I had to do it.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the lessons during this conversation is like, if you feel something, you just got to try it, because what's the worst that's going to happen?
It's the joy too, right? Like the joy, the adventure of like figuring out how it's all going to work out.
Exactly. The process is the fun part, the journey.
Very much so. I mean, it's also a lot of the heartbreak too, right?
100%.
Like I think all of that is incorporated in what this is. And if you aren't willing to run for the journey or jump at it, then, it's all good. You could stay where you're at and be comfortable with that. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I mean, had I not sensed this thing for adventure or something different, maybe I would have stayed home, and that would have been beautiful too. There was nothing wrong with that. But I wanted to have this thing that I want to turn over rocks and find out what's around the corner, and
a curious guy.
Yeah.
A curious guy.
Curious,
You're just a curious guy.
I don't think that will ever leave me.
Okay.
I think it evolves and matures as I change and grow with time, but I don't think that will leave me at any point.
Where do you think you got that mentality from? Was it from your parents? Are they curious people? Your brother? Like, where do you think you got that from?
I don't know. I think that is not from them.
Not from the friends.
I'm not saying my parents aren't curious. I think my parents are curious. I think they're also, adventurous as well. But maybe it's just a different time, right? Like my adventure is this, and their adventure and curiosity was coming to America.
I like that. Nice. With the journey of movement lifestyle, when was the point of movement where you were like, because you were going through the process of getting each space and getting bigger and bigger, what was the moment though you were like, okay, this is something bigger than I thought it was? Like, like was it when like a lot of the homies came through? Was it when you guys were getting noticed from other countries? Like, when was the moment you're like, okay, this is bigger than I expected it to be?
I think I had periodic moments of this and like little blips, but there's really fun moments that I've had while I'm traveling somewhere, say in Europe or Asia, and even here in LA. But someone's wearing an ML logo T-shirt, and we pass by each other, and I don't know them, and they don't know me.
Wow!
And there's just something about like this, and this, I don't know, eye catch.
Yeah.
Like just a head nod.
Yeah, like a rock, like rock on, bro.
Yeah, like, oh, we kind of both know.
Yeah. It's like when someone's wearing your favorite artist's like shirt or something.
Yeah.
It's really that. It's really that.
And I don't know, man. Like those were really some big moments for me personally, where I was like, oh, cool. This person identifies with this thing that was created that I identify with too. I just happened to create it, but it was this thing that they wear, they bear, they feel like a part of them. And maybe he just didn't have anything to wear that day.
Yeah,
sure. But,
but he still put it on.
But he still put it on.
He still put it on.
And so it's like moments like that, and then on top of that, beyond just wearing a shirt, it's having these conversations, especially now. I have no clue how this thing that I created that has even paused and stopped, for the past few years.
Yeah.
I have no clue how it's impacted people's lives. I know to an extent due to like, maybe some stories that somebody has told me but I'll never know all of them, and I'll never know the true depth. Like if X person had made said song and that was like my favorite song, and they'll never know like the impact of how it affected them. And I'm not meant to know all of that, but just like I think these small stories that I might hear from someone lets me know that beyond how big it gets, the impact is real. And that's cool.
Yeah, I just want to tell my story a little bit with movement, why it's impacted me so much. I'm going to try not to cry. It's crazy. I might cry. But you already know this, but a lot of people don't. But when I had my surgery, me and my parents were going through tough times. And this man right here helped provide a space when I was really sick. And he out of whim, not my idea, not my parents' idea, he decided to throw a workshop for me. And that meant a lot because I don't want to sound dramatic, but I didn't think I was going to be in the pit, like here, because my surgery and my condition was pretty bad. But he was amazing enough to throw a workshop, and it had all the choreographers that meant so much to me, which was Mike Song, Andy J, himself, and Kyle Hanagami, and again, it wasn't my idea. Nothing like, it was all from his mind, and it really helped. And then all the proceeds went to my family. And I had 2 surgeries, and it happened through a period of 4 months. And if you don't know, hospital bills are no fucking joke. Right. And at the time, we weren't doing too well. And so when you did that for my family, it just was unexpected, but also amazing. So I just want to say thank you, brother.
Of course, how could we? It's not just me. It was the team.
Yeah, and respect it to, like, your brother, CJ, the whole staff, like, again, like,
and it was you.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it's your family. Like, absolutely, without a doubt, no question. This is what it was built for. This is what it was made to do. And as I put the memories, like, wipe them here, I could feel all the things, and just, is that not what community is? Is that not what we should do as dance? And rightfully so, it just needed to happen. And it has nothing to do with, it's far beyond us as an establishment, a company. This is just you as a being. And yeah, no question.
Oh, I mean, so much. And like,
and I would do it 100 times over.
Oh my God,
I would do it 100 times over.
Thank you so much. Like, it was one of the first times too I felt my crying ass. Didn't think I was gonna cry. Never cried on a podcast. But like, yeah, like, it's like for good reason, because like I felt that community, you know, like I've never felt so much support from outside my parents, because realistically, honestly, it's just been me, my full support system at the time was my parents, you know, like during that time, it was during this whole social media, and we were all kids, and like it was kind of like cutthroat at the time, so I like movement lifestyle was my safe space, you know. And
man,
yeah,
it was built for that, you know, and more, right? I think it was built for those moments, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, and I respect that. That's why you have my full respect on everything, like whatever you need, like for me and my family, like we went to we'll go towards the end now with movement lifestyle. Like, unfortunately, the pandemic happened. Right. Movement lifestyle had to close down. But you were having the last class ever.
Yeah.
At the space, and me and my mom just knew we had to be there. I think I was working and doing something, so I wasn't able to take the class, and of course it was already sold out. Like, you had people like dancing in the parking lot while you were inside, like totally deserved that. But like, I just remember telling my mom, like, we have to go. Like, there's no way I'm missing this day. So the pandemic happened, and like being in that space for the last time with you dancing in it was just one of the most memorable experiences I've had in my dance career, for sure. Just being in that space. So I just want to go say thank you again, but I just want to go with your thoughts of like meaning with that space, and like the kind of like the last moments you had in that space. Like, how difficult was that for you? But like also enjoyable to see the people. Like, how was that process for you?
Man, when I think about it, I go back to the waves, right? Because it was the first wave when everything started kind of go downhill, we created a fundraiser, which like no words I could say ever could amount to the amount of thanks that the world provided in that first wave. But you know, at the time you could only hold for so long. And then there was a second wave. And that second wave was like, it was devastating to have a choice.
Yeah.
You have to make a choice.
Yeah.
You don't know when this thing is when things are gonna come back on. And it's like, this may never end and we don't know. And it was at that time.
Yeah.
That second wave was just, okay, this is way longer than we anticipate, and our rent is due, and our landlord does not give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do I do? Do we choose to cut this space that we love so much so that way we can restart some other day, or maybe I can do a different business or figure this thing out? Or do we we'll just continue to owe this person over time? It was so crazy that I looked at my staff, my team, my brother. I looked at myself. I was like, I don't know what to do except we have to make a choice.
Yeah.
And that choice was like even going against my will.
Yeah.
But it was, I have to choose something in this moment in time. And, you know, I've played it back many times, you know, in my head. Do I regret it? Should I have done that? And maybe it was the right decision, you know, all these things. But the fact remains, I had to choose and make a choice. And I had to live with the shot that I took. And closing the studio was the best for that moment. Even if it's not what it feels like the best.
Yeah.
It's what had to be done, and it was done. And so that was haze. You know, it was surreal. You plant the seeds into this corner. You cultivate it for years.
Yeah.
And you see it feels like seconds just disappear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not the space even. It was the
people.
It was the people, everything
the
around
energy.
it. All of it. All of it that I love so much to do is just falling through my fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah, just painful.
Yeah.
And so what do? I made the choice, and the pandemic continues. And I sit and I'm not the only one. You know, there's so many people, you know, that maybe someone that might be watching or that hears this that have had something similar or something else happen, but we closed. The space was gone, and I was left with this insurmountable weight of many things, from guilt, shame, finance, like you name it. The heaviest weight that I didn't know how to continue.
Yeah.
Like emotionally, mentally.
For sure.
I covered myself.
Yeah.
Just completely.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't know how to get up. For the first time in my life, I didn't know how to
move forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky to have a life partner, my wife. I don't know. I don't know what I would have done had she not been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was gonna be my next question. Is like, how do you think mentally and physically, like, how did you get up from that, or how did you see the light? How did you stay positive about it? And if it was how did she help you through that?
Well, I put it in this context, like when you don't know how to give yourself love, it takes sometimes the people around you to give it to you. And the more love you can receive consistently, even if you can't give it to yourself, friends, family, partner, over time, you slowly get to remember who you are, what you love, what you do, what you're capable of. But it had to take the love from someone else for me to love myself again. Truly. And I don't even know if I was by myself and I stayed by myself, where I would have gone. All I know is that I was brave enough to ask for help and to have help. And then from there, I could step forward. There I could like start to reclaim like little bits of myself.
Yeah, who you were. Yeah. How you do things.
Which is a whole nother journey.
For sure. I want to go into what you said is like how to ask for help. And as a male, that's as like old generation or even nowadays in social media and stuff, like that's kind of like looked down upon as like, oh, you're weak, oh, you're this. Like, how do you tell a young man or any male like trying to ask for help, they're in a position they can't get out of?
I don't know if I can give the advice to someone. I can say what I have done, and I think what I have done is just kind of pull it back to me and say, what can I do from here? Maybe I don't have the communication yet to talk to my wife, so maybe I need to find information so that way I can have the right communication, because I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I know I need help, but if I don't have the communication skills to ask for that help, then the first step is not actually asking for the help, but learning how to communicate what I'm actually feeling inside. So I would go back a few steps and figure out what I am feeling inside. I would organize those things, and I would try to find the way to translate that and communicate that.
Yeah.
And from that communication, I think that will be clear enough that there's something that can be done. And also how to practice it. I think that's the hard part, is even now with my wife, we often get into like little things here and there, and we get better and better each time about communication. And I think, in short, like the more and more I learn about how we communicate, the better and better I get.
Yeah.
I'll give an example so that way it's not just some words talked. There you go. And the example is, recently I had said some words. I forget what the phrase was, but she had said, "I know," and like as saying that she knows the information that I'm saying right now. There was something in me that was like, wait, I don't know if you're like taking offense to what I had said because you know it already. You don't need me to tell you.
Like repeat it.
Right. Or as in you're just stating the fact that you know. But there's something in me that feels a way when you say you know.
Yeah.
Can you tell me that you hear me instead? When you tell me that you hear me, I feel that you've accepted the information. And from me being heard, I feel that we can kind of
communicate better and go forward with whatever you're talking about.
And it's so subtle. It's so small. Maybe it's like minuscule. Yeah. But that change within me, because I can communicate that when it's, I know this makes me feel this way about it. So when you say you hear me, this makes me feel accepted. And I think accepting my information allows us to work,
go forward. Yeah.
And I would do the same for you. Of course, I hear you. And that word, that verbiage
that
change,
switch,
it's massive for our relationship. Yeah. Maybe it's other words for someone else, but to find that, it's like, oh, yeah, because this is my life partner, right?
Yeah, of course, you got to communicate. Right.
So from here, from our life on out, like I don't have to worry about I heard you or I know,
and then she's like thinking another way when you think she's thinking another way. Yeah.
And so when I think about talking to myself, what are those little
ticks?
Yes. What are the little changes in me that I can change if I'm talking to myself? And I know that's like that probably feels cliche to say it to most people, but if I can find the thing that gets me to change the attitude or the way I'm thinking about it, that's major.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for me at
least. Yeah.
I don't know for you.
You got to find that one word and switch it.
Yeah.
That actually brings me to another question I want to ask you. So, you're one of the most respectful guys, one of the most nicest guys, kind, everything. But I think people need to know, and I need to know, like, what's something that gets you mad? Like, or like, do you get mad?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. See,
I'm mad right now. Yeah.
I'm mad asking the question. Like, what makes you tick? Like, what makes you like annoyed or like mad? You're like, ooh, that's annoying. Like gets under your skin. I gotta know.
I think I'm a man about principle. So if it's goes against that principle, even if it's something silly like buying something and it's off from that principle, it's like, well, that doesn't make sense. If this is the way it's laid out, then we should be able to do it the way it's laid out because it's said that way. It's done that way. If it's against the principle for me, that irritates the shit out of me.
Yeah. It's game over for Shaun.
Yeah. That's like in terms of, I don't know, communicating or some sort of situation. I also really dislike making U-turns for some reason. It's very random. But they like irritate me.
Like you'll make 4 rights instead of making the U-turn.
I probably would.
Yeah.
I probably would.
I think it's this thing about like not going
going backwards.
Going backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm better at it now, but
I'll make the U-turn if I need
to. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'll make the U-turn if I need to, but if I don't have to, I will
make the 4 rights.
Yeah, make the 4 rights if that's possible.
But like, I don't know why. It's just something. Even if I'm doing it, I could feel the irritation.
Yeah. It's like bubbling inside.
It's coming up.
It's okay. Yeah. But as I'm older, I can manage that now.
Yeah.
It's super random.
No, that's what I needed.
We gotta go all the.
No, that's what I
here,
needed. I needed to find something that Shaun. I needed to find something that Shaun disliked. I'm gonna make a couple streets now that has U-turns. Going and then now I want to go back with movement lifestyle.
Yeah.
I mean everything's happy and we were crying for a second. Me. You're with me. You're with me.
My mantra is vulnerability is power.
Yes.
Thank you for doing that.
Of course. I mean, it means deep down, like it was real, genuine. It was no fake tears. I know I'm an actor, but those were not.
And the Oscar goes to.
No, but I want to go for your moments. What are your favorite moments of movement lifestyle? Is it in the studio with like a routine you did with?
It's this, man. It's this. It's getting to know someone's story, to ask them about what makes them tick. It's the ability to create off of just the idea, the choice to do something. It's the come up of watching someone like take a chance on themselves, helping them take a chance on them, and seeing them like get to the places that they dreamed of, to be at that place to help activate that. I still get chills for that, and then I mean, I still get to teach and travel, and especially now I'm so thankful for that. It's that ability to connect with people through movement, I know I've said this before, but one day I'm gonna die, and my body won't move the way it moves at some point as well. And like I want to use it as much as I can.
Definitely.
You know, I want to love this thing and like use it for this dance I love, for this connection, the ability to create. It's such a vehicle towards interesting destinations. So I'm so grateful for this body, and while I have it, while I can use it, man, I'm here. I'm still here. I got a lot left in the tank.
Oh, yeah. Oh, come on. There's no going right now. You have a lot left in the tank. And it's a good another good segue. You're just good at making segues. Yeah. You said you're teaching and everything. Now we're going to go to personal life. Like, when did you know that teaching around the world and choreographing, like, or just dance in general, you can make it as a career? When did you know for yourself, oh, I can survive off this. Like, I can do this as a career. I can do this as a living.
I don't think there was like a moment prior to me being able to teach that was really important for me. And it was actually when I was like 17. I was like young. And I had been able to teach for like one of my school, like high school rally things. And that moment was really like, clicked in my head that I love this so much. I want to do it for the rest of my life. That attitude right there, that shift, that mindset change allowed me to say, okay, whatever spaces I need to step into to make this my life, I'm going to do that. And from that change, I was able to find the opportunities and the connections for me to get into position to do so. And that position are small things that somebody would do. For example, Fee actually from Jabba, I was able to teach a collab class with him at Millennium.
No way.
That was my first class there.
No way. That's
I was, student like everybody else, just taking classes, training. I had moved from the Bay and trying to figure that out. And, I had connected, and there was an entry point for me. And once I got to do it once, it's like, okay, how can I continue to do this? And those little opportunities built up into a place for me that my work ethic, my dance, my creativity was being able to have my own class slots, right? And each step was really important, from the classes that brought me to traveling to other places. And so, but I think that only stems from this beginning point of, I want to do this for the rest of my life. This was like a choice, a declaration I made, a flag I put down. I was like, this is it. Yeah. And from there, obviously, I was young, so I could change it any time I wanted to. But it never changed. It never shifted or wavered.
Yeah.
I'm 40 now.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yeah, well, this year. So
wow.
And
what?
To this day, this is what I want to do. It's not going to change. Not going to change later either. I'm going to do this. Even if my work changes, I will still do this. Yeah. This is a part of what I love to do, and I don't think anything would stop me from doing that.
Yeah.
Obviously, other than
this working.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the teaching, and now your first class was at Millennium with Fee. What was your first international class?
It was to Japan.
Really?
Yes. So
wow.
I love this story.
Wow.
A friend of mine, her name is Sanai. She, remember I told you Alan Frias, this choreographer from the Bay Area. We had met in his class, and she really loved my work. She was actually, she's the first Asian dancer on the Warriors dance team.
No way.
Yeah. And
that's sick.
She saw my piece, my choreography, was like, I love your stuff. I've never seen anything like it. And I think I want to help you teach it in Japan. And she had contacted the owner of a studio over there and just went out on a limb.
Wow.
It's like, there's this guy here. He's awesome. And I think you should give him a chance. I had no background, there was no resume.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was teaching at a local dance studio in South San Francisco. That's it.
So this wasn't even the time you were in LA.
No.
It was before that.
No.
Wow.
This was while I was
How old were you?
Must have been like 19.
Okay.
20? No. Maybe. Yeah, around 20.
Wow.
20. Wow. Yeah. I'll reference and tell you back later.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was young.
How was that moment for you then? Like you're just teaching small classes and stuff. Like when you got asked to teach internationally, like
yeah.
I mean, back then as a choreographer, that's huge. I mean, still now it's amazing to do that.
It's a learning curve for sure.
Really?
Yeah. Young, I'm just making up. They asked me to do specific things. You have to do warm up for this long. You have to do stretch for this long.
Really?
You have to do choreo for this long. It was
interesting.
Yeah, and then obviously like other rules, you have to bring a secondary set of shoes. And
Japan is like
bring your towel for when you sweat. Like all these things were required of me.
And you didn't even know.
And I was like, well, what? Like all I knew about Japanese culture was like Japanese anime, or and like
that's his. I
don't know.
That's his segue.
Manga or something like that, and Sailor Moon. That's all.
Pretty
I
much
knew.
it. Yeah.
So I really like when I got there. I felt like I was just culture shocked. Like really, I was even nervous about eating food because I didn't know until I ate food. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. Yeah. Wow, everybody's got to come here. I mean, till this day, Japan is still like one of my favorite places to go ever.
That's the motherland.
It's still like the type of curiosity for me as someone who's curious. Japan's built like this. So if the streets here going down or up, there's not much land like that. So you got to go to different crevices to find out what's going on.
Through all the avenues, all the alleyways.
And years later, I'm talking about when I was young to now, it still is the place that I love to go and see what's up.
And that's crazy. Your wife is from Japan.
Yeah. That's So that just happened out of nowhere. But
that's insane.
Yeah.
We'll go back to how you met your wife, but teaching wise, what's like the craziest place you taught? Craziest country? Where you're like, oh, I didn't even know this place had dancers.
Well, I'll say one of a really amazing place that I taught was Brazil. There was this event called Rio H2K. It's not around anymore, but it was in like they would rent these abandoned train stations and set up like stage lighting and have people from all over, the country or South America would just like, I'm talking about a couple days just to get and travel there to like dance with each other, hours just to get dancers taking classes and then sitting down and then having like the lunch and then go straight
to class.
And at least 1,000 students.
Damn.
At the same time. I mean, I've never, especially at that time, now I'm sure there's maybe more, but that was really big for me.
Yeah.
To like see 1,000 people in an abandoned train station just. Hi everyone. Like everyone raise your hand. Okay, everybody down. I was like, oh, we could do this forever. This is amazing. I don't even got to teach you choreo.
Abandoned train station? That's sick, though.
Beautiful, man.
That's sick.
It's not just like the big events either. Within those big events, there's these small interactions that you meet somebody. And I think every camp kind of has this specialty.
Their niche.
Thing to them. But just to name one off the top of my head, I'd have to say that one for sure.
Nice. What's your favorite place? Well, we might break a few hearts, but what's your favorite place to teach like as a choreographer? And what's your favorite, or not favorite place, or the place where you're like, yo, this is like the craziest talent I've ever seen in like another country?
Well, I have to say, Europe just really, the talent. I'm not talking about just like if I think work ethic, you know, I could see Japanese culture just like the work ethic day in day out.
It's crazy.
If we're talking about just like talent that's you just burst it, you could see it in front of you. Just feels so. I feel like Europe has such
crazy,
such just bursting talent that every time I come back, I'm like, what do y'all eat?
What they feed you out there? What's the water you drink?
Right. And I think that's what I love about dance so much. You know, you go to different cities, different countries, and you're like, dance is so vast and wide. This is life journey. I'm never gonna master all of these things. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I want to just keep uncovering and exploring things that make me feel good. And everybody's got their own thing, you know. What's good for me might be different for you, and I love that for you.
Yeah.
This is kind of where I'm carving into, and tomorrow it's a new day. I'm gonna figure something else out.
For sure.
And it's a lifetime journey for me. So, you know, right now I'm into, you know, whatever I'm into, but as I get older, that's gonna change. You know, me and my wife been going salsa dancing lately, so
just really,
you know, I never thought I'd be salsa dancing.
Is your wife a dancer as well?
Yes, she is. Yes,
she's insane.
Yeah,
she's insane.
Yeah, she doesn't dance as much anymore, but she still works in the industry from time to time, and she making earrings and jewelry.
Oh, sick!
In the pandemic, kind of swooped into different territory, and she's phenomenal. I'm like,
she's dope. So we got to go to that story. How did you guys meet? I'm like through because she's a dancer, and obviously you're the dancer too. Like, is it like just like when you saw each other, or you're like, that's my wife?
We were friends in 2007, so she came to take my class, and she would take other people's class too. Like, you know, everyone around that time period. She was friends with the Shit Kings. You know?
Yep.
And she grew up with them, and that just laid the bedrock for a really great foundation of friendship. And over time we'd see each other, but it wasn't until 2016 that or 15 that we saw each other at a camp. She thought she was going to pull up Portland to perform, but she was going to Poland with Lando to perform.
She thought no.
And so English is her second language.
Yeah. That's so crazy.
So she just heard something else.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I love she's just in it for the journey. Like, she's like, Portland or Poland, I'll go.
And we met each other there.
Wow.
And our friendship was just so easy. I spotted her from afar. Like, oh, I's here. And we were just standing together at the party the whole night. Just like together. And then we started talking. And it's like, wait, something feels different. And we saw each other in another country after that. We would see each other in Japan, or we'd see each other somewhere else. And finally we got back to LA. And it was like, okay, you know what? There's something here. On top of that, I'm like very serious. So,
you're like, let me know.
Like, can we talk about all the things now? Because I don't want to like jump into anything. And she was like, yes, I want to talk about all the things now. Before we start, we were completely on the same page.
Wow.
It was like, let's lay it out on the table, because if there's anything else there's no need for us to do this. So what do you want? What do we want from this? And we both wanted the same thing, you know? And it just kind of laid itself out. Yeah, we got married in 2018.
Wow.
19.
That's the dancer love story right there. That's the dancer love story. When you guys were traveling, were you guys like talking though, or like a little bit, or you guys were just seeing each other, and then when you guys got back to LA, it became more like talking?
No, we were definitely seeing each other like throughout the years. We were like this, but finally, once we saw each other in Poland Poland, not Portland. That's where it's like, okay, let's just be together all the time. You know,
that's fire.
Yeah.
Who said I love you first?
I mean, probably me. Yeah, probably me.
Had to.
You know?
Yeah, have to.
Right away.
Yeah, you knew.
Yeah, like probably before we were even dating. You know? I love you.
That's so sweet. That's amazing.
Coming out of COVID, when you were like, you know, dusting your shoes off and getting back out in the world, were there conversations of like, should we come back with a new space? Should we start something new?
Hell yeah. There was a lot of that. I think a lot of, hey, you're going to start this, like right out, you know, it's like, hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah.
Are you starting?
Yeah.
And I was so hurt. Not like them.
Yeah, but
just like bringing it.
But I was just hurt internally that I was like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was too painful to talk about it. Yeah. Really. And I'm sure other people were afraid to talk to me about it too.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
And I understand that, you know. But yeah, it was just one of those things where it was even hard to like drive to NoHo.
Yeah.
Like,
the same same route, everything, yeah.
It was hard for me I had to like
close off.
Like, you know, shelter in place.
That
was it, you know, and focus in on me. And I think even it's more recently that I'm just like willing, free. I feel good that I can step into spaces. Obviously, I still am considerate about how my heart feels. So at any point in time, if there's something that doesn't feel right, I'm quick to just say, that's okay. Not now, Shaun. You know?
Yeah.
Because I have to protect my space.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it feels good to be at a comfortable place to talk about it, to confront it, to comb through the feelings. Because I think grief is not about on to the next.
Yeah.
I think it's really about like the time that it takes.
Being peace at it.
Yeah. And that's not a easy journey. I think I can be excited for something while also still grieving.
For sure.
That's okay too.
Yeah.
I think, you know, these memories are just things of love of why I love something so much that existed. Yeah. So in terms of people asking me, still happens very often, and I'm okay with it. And I'm also like, just happy that people want to talk about it. Yeah, exactly. I thank you for caring.
Yeah.
So thank you for caring.
Well, that's why I want to say first off too, before we even dive deep more into it. But I want to say thank you for even coming on this space and this podcast to even talk about that. And it's gonna even be more public when we post it, you know, because like you said, like even when it first happened, like you did go dark. Like I was afraid to hit you up, and you were barely on social media. I know, like all the dancers I was surrounded by was like, yo, you hear from Shaun? Like, what's he thinking? How is he feeling? Like, hope he's okay.
I had to.
Yeah. You know, for sure. And understandably, like, there's a reason.
Thank you for even saying that.
No, for sure.
I felt guilt and shame from that.
No, and you shouldn't, for sure. You shouldn't. But I just want to say thank you for even coming on and, like, sharing how you felt during that crazy times and, like, thinking this is a safe space to say all those things. So much appreciated.
I don't think I would come to a place that I didn't feel, and I think you to me have that are cut from the same cloth, you know, and you wouldn't be around a team that isn't cut from that same cloth either, you know.
Yeah.
And the care and attitude, you know, also comes from your family, and
for sure,
that's family. Right?
For sure, family. That's family. That's ML family right there.
Exactly.
But now we got to go into deeper. What's the next steps for you? Is there something? I know we said it off camera and scheduling wise. Like, anything coming up next? You want to announce anything?
What is happening now?
What is happening with Shaun Evaristo right now?
So, I'm going to do it through story. If that's
of course,
okay.
of course.
But within the pandemic, I really had to get back to like from here to zero, and then zero to what I want to do. And to getting to zero was, the love around me, connections and friendship. But here to say I want to do something, this was a different journey. This was getting back to myself. Yeah. And that was sessioning with friends outside. That was letting friends come over to the house and me and wifey cooking for folks and just eating together, reconnecting and making friendships. It was also talking to myself and like, there's so many parts I'm skipping, but when with the pandemic comes all the changes, the job loss, the uncertainty, the what do I do next? Do I want to keep doing this? I really thought I was like ready to hang my jersey if you want to. Like I was like, my shoes are here, the hanger's there. I'm ready.
The number.
Yeah, I made my resume. I had to ask for help. I called a lot of friends to just. It's been years since I made a resume. I don't remember the last time I made a resume. I feel like this old guy that's trying to figure himself out, and that's true. That's true. I was just trying to find myself again, and I was like, I have all these skills.
How do you use it?
How do I translate this thing? I'm good at what I do. I love what I'm a passionate person, and I could do great things, but does this thing that's on this piece of paper translate to your environment?
Yeah.
And do you see value in what I
do you get anything from it? Yeah.
It was so scary, all of these things that, I had written this out. I was ready. I had turned in a few applications.
Really?
And I pulled back.
Yeah.
I could feel this right arm like pulling back the application and just going like, no, like, what do you want to do? Not what do you want to, like, where do you want to work, but what do you want to do? How do you want to operate in life?
Yeah.
What do you want to create? Do you still want to create?
That's the big question.
Do you still have dreams that you want to build and make things? Is that person that was young that's there, is that still in there? What moves you, Shaun? Like, I had to ask myself these things. Yeah. And finally, I found that. I found that person that is 17 that said yes is still here. It's like alive and ready, that it just has so much more that, there's nothing wrong with me wanting to turn in my resume and go to work somewhere. I love that. But I don't love that if that's not what I want to do. And that's not what, and that there's more in me that I have to let out into the world. I don't know. I don't think that life going against that for me is not the life I want to live. So I decided, that these things, this intersection of dance, community, creativity, love, friendship, learning of oneself, helping others, this, whatever this is, I still want to do this.
You have to.
And I still want to do this. And I'm lucky that I have family and friends. Yusuke is here. He's a good friend of mine, owner of N Dance Studio. He would call me periodically. He would just say, do you still want to start ML again? I'm like, hell no.
At the time, you know, no.
And then I-chan, would slowly, what do you want to do? And slowly, over time, over months, over a year.
Yeah, I was going to say years.
Finally getting back to myself to saying, I'm ready. I want to do this. And we're on the verge of starting ML again.
Wow.
We on the cusp, the brink, and what we want to do is we want to bring the studio back. We want to serve our community because there's a whole new generation coming that is looking, that could use community and industry. And I want to be able to help that. And if this is my life's calling and I'm still here, able-bodied to do it, I should do that, right?
Of course.
So I'm working out all the things. This is what I've been kind of, closing the curtain, just focusing in and plotting and planning, staying very to myself so that way I can really make the moves necessary. Because we closed the studio, but I've got this bag of things.
Yeah, you have an arsenal of things.
I did not. I have to. This is something that I'm still processing and trying to reframe. But I will use this this moment that happened when closing the studio. This as an opportunity to catapult. What is going to happen, and I have so much experience in my bag to say, okay, this.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, this one,
Yep.
Not that one.
Yeah.
This one.
Gotta try something new.
Yeah, wait. I don't have that. Do you have that?
Yeah.
I have learned a lot of different skills, even within the pandemic, to just get myself ready for the next level, the next step of not just movement lifestyle, not just ML, but me and how I want to serve in this world. I'm so excited. I feel young and old at the same time. It's amazing. And I didn't think I would ever get here. I didn't think I would get here. And I thought, it's done. But because of all the love that surrounds me, I'm able to stand back up again and tell myself, I can begin again. Yeah.
Wow.
I told you this episode. Oh my God. Like, you telling this news, just for me personally, you saying you're right now on the mission to bring it back, just my heart like filled to the brim, because I know that space is going to be as good, not probably even better than what it was before. That's the mission. And just hearing that, and hopefully if you're hearing it, if you're a dancer and affected by ML, like, that's like probably the biggest and happiest news I've heard in a long, long time. So thank you for even sharing that on here.
It's not just me. I know there's a whole community of people that also want to help too.
Definitely.
This is just going to provide the space for us to continue to serve each other. This dancing, if we've learned in the pandemic how fragile it is, that things can go away quickly, but we can have a home front again, another one, right? And we can use that to propel our young artists, creatives, thinkers, movers, creators, like
of all sorts, all kinds,
to be another hub of what's necessary and needed. Because my life's work is creating positive impact,
Absolutely.
And I think something as beautiful as this exactly does that. And we will all do them in our own way. And I think ML is my way. Yeah. And it's not just my way. It's yours too, It's like if you live a movement lifestyle, then this is for you. So, and I don't know, maybe it's just me being altruistic or passionate, but man, I don't want to shy away from that. That's just a part of who I am. So why should I deny that part of me that wants to be of service and help?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
So that's what I've been on in the process of doing. Yeah, I'm so excited. And I don't know. Again, I've been doing this for a long time. So whether you're somebody like new who's like, who's this guy? Or you've been following me from the beginning.
Very beginning.
Whoa, I could only say thank you. Because, you know, the only reason I'm here on this podcast is because, you know, there's an audience. You here believe in what I do. You care about what I do. And that makes me feel so special. So thank you.
Well, it goes both ways, my guy. Like, it goes both ways. You being here and saying yes to my podcast, like, well, our podcast.
Yes.
But me hitting you up, like, I said this like season 1, but it's like, it was in the beginning very nerve-wracking to ask people I see as my role models to come on something I created. So you coming on here just makes it even better, because it just makes me feel like, okay, maybe I am doing something right, and like it makes you feel safe, and it's validation, but validation for the right reason, someone I look up to. So thank you for coming through, brother.
It's circular. As I look at this production, everything you're creating, it's inspiring me, so I look up to it.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, this is amazing. And how cool. I don't know where you intend to take this, but I'm sure you're going to do it with your full heart. And like, I think those things really matter, because as you scale and get bigger and do greater things, it's these moments that really stick with you through all of it. It's this making it, figuring it out, this you know, the little things that
all
matter.
The details, all the details.
And because it matters to you, it's going to matter to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it matters to me, man.
Thank you. God.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. And seriously, Shaun, thank you for opening up and sharing everything that you shared. Like, I can't tell you how much we appreciate it.
For sure.
Like, seriously.
It means a lot to have the space to do that. And oh shit, I'm about to start a studio again. Oh shit, I'm running.
It's happening.
Oh shit.
People are hearing it here first, man, and it's crazy. Like, I keep repeating, it's crazy. You think this is the best place for that, and I appreciate that. Like, you could have gone anywhere else, or just obviously you're gonna go on socials and stuff, but like you announcing it yourself, like, amazing, brother. Everyone that's hearing it is probably pissing themselves, because Movement Lifestyle is coming back, and so excited. But again, do we have question before we end it? We gotta do question of the day.
Honestly, I think this one, no silly question at the end.
No, go for it. I don't care.
No,
Up to you.
We gotta do both. I have a silly one.
You have a silly one?
I think so.
Okay, do your silly one.
Okay. Would you take 10 U-turns a day, or
would you rather only make U-turns?
No, like, you have to make 10 U-turns a day, or you're putting them through hell, Dylan. I know.
Hell.
Or you can only dance every other month. So like January you can dance, but you can't dance in February. But then you can dance the next month, and then you can't. It's every other.
Or 10 U-turns a day.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the U-turns, damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. He said it. 10 U-turns.
He'll get them out quick. He'll wake up in the morning, make 10 U-turns, and be done for the day.
Yeah. Are you the type of person you have to get the bad stuff done first in the day, or are you gonna spread it out? Like, first
1 U-turn an hour, or you wake up and you do 10 U-turns, get them out of the way.
I'm trying to think what I would do. Because
the same street, just keep going back.
Like, strategy is
important. Strategy
like,
is
would
important.
I want to buzz it at the beginning where I got a lot of energy to make it happen, or would I do it at the end of the day where I've gotten a lot of work done?
Exactly.
Or maybe I just see this as a part of my work.
Oh, you can do that. Like, this is a work time.
This is a work time. So I'd probably do it in the afternoon after breakfast.
There it is.
Oh, good question.
Because you can dance. Now you're dancing.
Right.
Because you.
I think, knowing myself, I would find a way to make this enjoyable at some point.
Because you're doing it every day.
Oh.
he said, damn.
Right. Or like I would bring people along with me
with the journey. Yeah, there you go.
I gotta make U-turns. Can you come? Can you come with this?
Hey, Dylan, I'm here. I'm ready to pick you up. We gotta do the U-turn.
Yeah.
It's your time.
It's U-turn time.
It's your time.
Yeah.
That's all right.
That's
You're
funny.
hitting 10 U-turns. What? Okay,
Wow.
now we'll end it on a serious one. You had one.
I had a silly one. That's why.
Oh.
That's why I said. Yeah.
Oh, if you have a silly one, let's just hit with the silly one.
There's another silly one. All right.
Because we did. I think this is the most serious.
This is the last
one. I cried.
time. This is the last time
we cried. We cried, and for the best reasons. Let's end it on some funny.
I've asked a couple dancers this because I wanted like different dancer perspectives. So this is the last answer I'll ask this one for.
Cool.
It's a two-parter. So the first one is, what is a style of dance that you very much do not prefer?
I do not prefer.
Or dislike, or something
Yeah.
you're not strong in.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh damn, I look like a goofball. We had Nick Joseph from GRV answer this, and then we also had Trevor Takimoto answer this.
Goofball. I mean, I feel like a goofball still in learning salsa. But I mean, there's so much. So I want to answer this correctly.
No worries.
Yeah.
He said
Nick said
ballet.
femme.
No, oh yeah.
Nick said femme.
Nick said
I
like
think
femme style.
Trevor said ballet.
And then Trevor said ballet.
I think I might have to go that route, because if I like try to picture myself there, I mean, I would do it in my
best ability.
My best
Yeah,
ability.
yeah.
At least, yeah.
But oh man, like I'm like not flexible. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I
ballet.
mean, if there was something like, in terms of using my strength, I'm sure I could get to
there?
somewhere.
Yeah.
But in terms of flexibility, this is where I think I would have a little bit. It just make me stress.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so ballet.
Yeah.
Okay, so the would you rather is, would you rather only be able to dance ballet or not dance?
Oh,
Give me ballet, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
there it is.
I mean, I want to move my body. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
I know. I already knew his answer. though. I was
me
like-
too, Loki. When
I was like,
yeah.
it's fun to hear perspectives.
I asked a couple dancers just to see, like Nick, for example, he also loves drawing, like absolutely loves drawing. So he said that he would give up dance because he could
Find another
he
creative
could find
outlet.
another creative outlet to get his like
I
juices out.
understand that.
So
Yeah.
like maybe like directing, he likes movies, or like drawing, he loves like anime, manga, like.
Our the author that we just had on, Julian Font. What did he say about the
There's a theta.
There's like a with your brain waves when a theta
There's different states. He's saying it was like gamma, beta, theta, and the theta is like the creative one. So throughout the day you go through all of these states, and if you don't take advantage of like the theta state, your brain can go out of it for the day, and then it's like you've missed it.
You lose
You've missed
something.
your
So
opportunity.
it's like the creatives, like that's why they call it like shower thoughts, and you have like crazy thoughts.
Yeah.
He says like,
If you're in that state,
don't dismiss
Keep
it.
going.
Like keep going.
Yeah.
So like when you were writing, that makes sense why you were writing.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So like
Thanks for letting me know that.
Yeah. So that's
You
what,
should talk to this. We
should
should
really
really give you
link
his
up.
contact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but he taught me that. I had that the other night about like ideas for like a TikTok. So I just start writing it down in my notes, and I just kept going. So he stated like, if you have that, like don't disarm it. Don't say like, I think it, like write it, whatever it is, like write the idea. Like don't dismiss.
disarm it.
Yeah,
Don't dismiss it.
Don't dismiss it or disarm the theta brain waves.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's the episode.
Wow, Shaun, thank you,
Shaun, again.
so much for coming on.
And
Thank you.
if you're listening on Apple Music, Spotify, there's some other things I'm missing.
Yeah.
I'm not really good at that. But if they're listening, where can they find you? What's your @? Maybe Movement Lifestyle.
At
it's coming
Shaun
out.
Evaristo. This is it. I'm like not that much. I know in this day and age. you just
Yeah,
should be on
it's weird to
everything,
say that. It's weird for us to say like
but-
follow us.
Yeah, but I'm old school, so I don't know. I'm not on all the things. Come find me. Come see me at the studio when we open.
Yeah,
Come say what's up. I love in-person connection.
There it is.
I love writing on like analog. So yeah.
There it is. And that's the episode. Wait till next week. We have crazy more guests nonstop this year. We have only missed one Monday this year so far, so we're keeping it going. Hopefully you guys enjoy these episodes, and we're out. Just do the damn thing.
See you next week.
Brother. Oh my
Wow.
God.